So in this video, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do a really nice tonal drawing of a seed pod, and then you're going to have a go hopefully this week and do your own version. So in the last video I asked you to do 2 of these, and I want you to keep the other version for next week's task, which is a colour version of the same seed pod, okay, if you've got colours. Right, okay, so we're going to start off by looking at where the light and dark are. Now, hope you can see, but if you can't, I'm going to help you. This seed pod is much darker. It's almost black in some places. Here it's very dark, but it goes slightly lighter grey. This is quite light grey. I'm sorry about this. Can you hear my little dog running around? This bit here is grey, but it's slightly dark. You can see that bit there is darker than that bit. And then here, what we've got are some white outlines. So I'm going to leave those bits white. Okay, so they will be the only bits. These outliney pieces here are going to be the only bits where I'm actually going to leave white. Right, so the basic first thing we need to do is I would probably suggest that you start off by putting a grey tone over everywhere. Okay, so what you want to do is just, with the side of your pencil in that circular movement, put a nice light grey tone. Now, we're going to use a cotton bud today to actually spread this out, but you do need to get enough of your grey on there first. So let's do this. Right, I'm going to show you this section, and then I'll come back when I've done all of it grey, because nobody's got time to be watching me shade something in all day long. Right, okay. All right, so you see that there? That is quite scratchy looking, isn't it? But if I take my cotton bud, what I can do is I can just rub, and the rubbing will give me a nice flattish tone. Now, it doesn't need to be too flat actually, because if we look at this, can you see here, if I zoom in, let's go, oops, zoom in, hang on a minute, let me zoom in. There we go. If you look, can you see that? There are some like veiny effects there. Well, we can add them later, but what we want first of all is to get this grey. Okay, so by rubbing as well in a circular motion like that, then what I can get is this lovely flat area of tone. Now, I've just realised that I've sort of rubbed out my little white line that I want to keep. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my rubber, I'm going to get the flat edge of it, and I'm just going to take out that white again that I wanted to keep, that I've rubbed out. Okay, I want to keep that white line there. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to stop the video, I'm going to go away, I'm going to do all of my seed pod that tone, and then I'm going to show you the darker bits. All right, so here I am. I've completely shaded in the technique with using the Tonal, the earbud. Right, okay, so I need to I've lost some of my white, as you saw there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the rubber to put these white lines back in. So I'm just going to go along the edge to rub out these bits, because it's actually quite hard to control how much the Tonal covers. The nib, the edge of it's quite thick. So I've done that there. It's slightly too fat, that bit, never mind. Right, okay, so now I want to start putting in, I've got my lightest tones, I want to start putting my darkest tones in now. I'll worry about the medium bits later. Right, so where I can see black, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to start shading as dark as I can. So that means just pressing very, very carefully and accurately with my pencil. Okay, so this is just a 2B pencil. This isn't a special art pencil or anything. So it's black there, it's black there, it's black right against that line. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to tidy up this line slightly. So we've got a section of black. So all we do is, where you see black, you're just going to add some black. So what I'm going to do, I'm hopefully going to speed this up now. I'm going to do it in front of you here, and I'll just speed it up so I'll stop talking. Okay, I've just noticed actually that I've got this shape wrong here. So what can I do here? I can, because I've coloured it so black now, I just think I need to bring this out slightly. Yeah, maybe it's that. That's not too bad. It does look a little bit wonky actually, but let me see if I can get rid of some of it. If I can sort of tweak it a little bit, it would look better. Okay, might be better. Right, okay, so yeah, that's looking a bit better. And then, oh well, anyway. Right, okay, so now then, what I want to do is I want to start blending out a little bit, because that is clearly much lighter, isn't it, there? So what I can do first of all is I want to put another grey tone across the whole of the thing. So I'm just going to go, and then I'm going to start using my Tonal. So you see, I'm just pressing a bit harder. I'm not covering everywhere though. I'm just trying to keep the same tone, so tone being darkness, same level of darkness. Okay, I'm going to get my Tonal on, I'm going to rub to create this slightly darker tone now, like that. Okay, so it's looking a bit better, but maybe not quite dark enough, and I've left a little bit of white there as well. Okay, right, I'm going to leave that like that for now. I may need to go darker, and I'm going to do the same thing here. So again, this needs to go slightly darker as well. Now this tone here is lighter than that, so I will have to darken that up in a minute. I'm going to put the same grey tone down here. I might need to blend into that a bit more because it's a little bit liney. Okay. Right, so you could do with a bit of detail now, I think. So this is too wide, so we're going to have to just take the Tonal on in a second, just get rid of some of that because it is a little bit too wide. So if I just come in, try not to obliterate all of my white. Okay. Right, I think I could do with a little bit more dark here. And there's a sort of darker ridge there, so I'm going to put that in. And it might curve slightly out a bit more. Let's put that ridge in first. Yep. And then there's some like little bits of texture which I could use a bit of a rubber to take out some little dots of white and some texture on the Seedpod. This is lighter there, isn't it? I've not actually kept that very well. So I'm going to take a little bit of my shading out there. And then what I'll do is I'll use my Tonal on to slightly... Oops. Right, okay, I'm going to go darker here. I'm going to get rid of that because that's actually not white. And then I can put some of these veins in. Now, if I look, let me just zoom in. If I look carefully at the veins, it's like the veins that you see, blood vessels, isn't it? It's the same type of idea, obviously. So I'm just going to draw in some of these lines, very, very lightly though, because they are just a suggestion. And I'm not copying them exactly, I'm just trying to get a feel for it because that could be a really long thing doing that. And there's some darker veins here as well. Okay, right, it's not finished. Right, okay, let's have a look at what we've got. How are we doing? Yeah, that's shape. I'm not quite happy with that shape there, but I think overall it's looking okay. Maybe slightly darker here. That needs to be dark, doesn't it? Because it's a shadow. I haven't put that in. This is darker here. I've completely forgotten this bit. Yeah, okay. Right, okay, so I'm going to leave mine at that because this is a long video. Okay, I'm going to leave mine at that. I'm sure you can see there I've got areas that I've not done very accurately, but okay. Right, okay, so today your task is, first of all, to do your tracing. So you get two pictures, draw out your seed pod, trace it and transfer it for two, and then you're going to do a lovely tonal drawing. If you've got cotton buds, it makes life so much easier. Because obviously it makes things a little bit quicker. So if you can do me a nice seed pod for this week and upload it, and then next week we'll be doing a colour version of the same seed pod. And if you haven't got colours, then what I want you to do is I just want you to do a lovely drawing of another Blosfeldt seed pod. Okay, good luck with that, everybody. I'll see you next time.